So before I begin, 2 disclaimers. Number 1, in this retelling I'm going with the route where everyone survives, and number 2, every single character in this game is an asshole. So what you're about to see is basically a compilation of left turns and bad decisions.
I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Our story begins on a snowy mountain where a group of 30-year-old teenagers are left alone to party and get drunk with no adult supervision.
Not a great plan.
We soon find out that Hannah, one of the teens, has a crush on Mike, you know, the dude from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But it turns out to be a prank, and Hannah runs out onto the freezing cold mountain in the dark without a jacket.
What? You're fine. You got a jacket.
Well, yeah, but there are more deserts than we can count, and you chose the Arctic.
You got a jacket.
My Slavic mom would kick my ass.
It was just a prank, Han.
As a result, her twin sister Beth runs after her, and this girl Hannah must be a track star because she runs several miles into the woods and decides that the best place to warn is on an edge of a cliff. And it just makes me wanna... Bro, I was kidding. Anyway, Beth manages to grab a rock with Hannah hanging on.
I'm stuck. But I was up here, my friend. Don't look.
A year later, Josh, that's Hannah and Beth's brother, invites the group back up to the mountain to party. You're a weird guy, Josh. Now, before we proceed, I think we need to introduce our central characters and their relationships with each other, because if I don't, things are going to get real confusing real fast. Alright, first up we got Sam, who is by far the most competent person in the group, and is also not a complete degenerate. Sam is friends with Ashley, who starts off as the ultimate girl next door stereotype, but over the course of the game becomes so freaking insufferable that I just wanna... Ash has a crush on Chris, who is the Xander of the group.
I laugh in the face of danger, then I hide until it goes away.
As he tries way too hard to be this unfunny, but he also goes through the most crap, so he kinda gets a pass. And Chris is also best friends with Josh, who is the weird brother of the twins. Alright, first half done, now we move on to the love rectangle. First up we got Mike, who kinda really reminds me of Ash from the Army of Darkness.
Hail to the king, baby.
Because he simultaneously is a great action hero, but is also a ridiculously stupid one. He's going out with the token blonde chick, Jess.
Sexy.
Jess hates Emily because Emily and Mike used to date, and they probably broke up because Emily...
When all the bitch stars had aligned, you were born and made everybody's life around you a living hell because you are such a bitch!
And finally we got Matt, who is Emily's current boyfriend and is a bit of a simp.
Current Riz level 0, Beta, Huck, Jerry.
Anyway, all the characters make it to the lodge, and I honestly don't know how any of these people are friends because all they do is fight, especially Jill and Emily.
You're the only one who can put him down. No one else can play with your toys. You're such a bitch. Whatever. I don't give a crap what you think.
At least I can think. 4.0 bitch, on a roll. Suck on that when you're trying to sleep your way into a job.
So to avoid conflict, Matt and Jill are kicked out to go and stay at the guest cabin, and you guessed it, Mike and Jill have to walk 10 miles through the spooky, cold, dark, and damp cave while fighting off freaking deers. Like damn, at that point just go back and apologize. You couldn't pay me enough to go camping in these Appalachian-ass mountains. Like, what if there's an avalanche? What the hell are you gonna do? Eventually, Matt and Jill make it to the cabin and begin their quote-unquote sexcapades. Their words, not mine.
I think that can be arranged.
Funny.
Long,
Sumimasen.
So Matt starts putting on the charm.
I love you.
But as things are about to get hot and heavy,
First kidnapping.
and I know I've been clowning on Mike this entire time, but I gotta give him his props, because with no hesitation, he grabs a gun and runs into the blizzard to get his woman, and I gotta respect that. I won't even mention how he didn't even take his jacket with him, and I really want to know what supplements this man is taking, because he's all of a sudden turns into Nathan Drake. After chasing her down, Mike finds Jessica all beaten and bloodied, and then Black Widow can relate. This scene makes me laugh because instead of checking on his girlfriend to see if she's alive, all Mike can think of is
revenge.
And when he sees a figure in the background, he immediately wants to shoot her with a gun, but it jams, so he throws his only weapon, What is he gonna do? Box the homicidal maniac?
They ain't me. Run them hands up. Put your paws up, homie.
Regardless, he makes it outside and sees the sanatorium in the distance. Meanwhile, back at the lodge, Sam takes a bath, Emily and Matt disappear from the plot for a little bit, and honestly, good. They can't stand this woman. And the rest of the group decide to talk to the dead using a Ouija board.
This is some scary shit.
So the board decides to be an asshole to Josh in particular and tells him that the sisters died because they were being dumb, which makes Josh big mad, so he storms off. The board also tells Chris and Ash to go look in the library for some clues. And they do find evidence that there's a serial killer on these mountains, allegedly. And as they search for more clues, Ashley gets yoinked, and as for Chris...
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
When Chris wakes up, he follows a trail of blood to the shed where the killer recreates the Saw movies and forces Chris to choose between Ash and Josh. Chris chooses Ash to live, and as for Josh, how can I censor this?
I mean, crap, man. Look at that.
Just a flesh wound.
Chris takes his traumatized Ash outside, and would you look at that, Emily spawns in from out of nowhere. Where the hell have you been? And Matt hears too, I guess. Anyway, they form a plan for Emily and Matt to go find help, while Chris and Ash go to find Sam. Speaking of Sam, she's been taking a bath this entire time, while all this other crap has been happening, with this goober staring at her the entire time. And honestly, I can't even blame him, cause...
Damn!
Anyway, the goober stole her clothes, so Sam has to run around this big-ass house butt-ass naked. So the gooner chases her down to the basement, but unfortunately he's a bit of a dumbass and Sam manages to escape with absolutely no trouble whatsoever. So my main man Mike runs around the sanatorium for a little bit, and then he manages to find a dog. He pets the dog. This is very important for later. He also manages to find a gun, and if you've ever seen teenagers around a gun, you would know that they are very dangerous because they have the capacity to blow themselves up. Meanwhile, Matt and Emily are traveling in the woods and they get jumped by a bunch of deers.
Should have taken the shot, fat ass.
And Emily is out here just trying to get Matt killed. She is straight up hater.
Just wanna check us out as all.
No, Matt. They're gonna hurt us.
Bro, I'm gonna throw your ass off this cliff. Matt decides to not be a complete dumbass and just walks out of there, and they make their way to the fire tower to radio for some help, and Emily manages to somehow not screw this up and actually radios for help.
My name is Emily. Hello?
But even the game is tired of her ass as the tower begins to collapse, and even with her life being in peril, Emily still finds a way to be insufferable.
You've gotta do something right now. What are you waiting for?
I'm thinking! Let me think!
Don't think, you idiot. Just get me out of here.
She just makes me wanna... She keeps pestering Matt for help, but he's like, screw this, and... I'm so proud of you, Matt. And I know in his mind he's thinking,
that must have been catharsis by proxy.
well, now that I'm in a good mood, let's see what Chris and Ashley are doing. Yeah, so apparently Hannah and Beth are out here haunting Chris and Ash for some reason, and these phantoms are so unserious. They out here setting up spooky doll houses and popping out the corner with jump scares.
Oh, scary! Shut up, man!
And then the gooner who was peeping on Sam sneaks Chris. And as for Ash...
I don't care if she's a girl or a baby or somebody's grandmother. I'll still knock her out.
Then all of a sudden, Sam wakes up and... Mike? Didn't you get blown the hell up? And even Sam is confused, like, how the hell did you get here? And he hits her with the...
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Anyway, he helps Sam escape and she finally manages to find some clothes. Sam and Mike actually manage to find Chris and Ash, who are participating in this Death Note-ass trap.
Do you want to play a game?
The point of the trap is to see if Chris is willing to die for Ash, but as I said before, I do not.
Emotional damage.
But of course, the gun is filled with blanks as the gooner reveals himself to be... Josh.
Okay, first. What? Second? The
It turns out that Josh staged the entire thing, the phantoms, his own death, clocking Ashley in the face, everything.
Oh, the deception! The betrayal, man, you deceived!
But then Mike is like, Jess is dead. And Josh is like, what? Anyway, it turns out that Josh's whole motivation for all this is to make a freaking YouTube video. bro straight up just wants to be Jake Paul, SMH. Anyway, Mike and Chris tie up Josh in the barn, beat the crap out of him, and leave him to die of hypothermia. And I ain't even mad.
They had it coming.
Oh, God!
Oh, no! No! No!
Why is she still alive? I wanted one thing, game. One thing. Like, damn, what I have to do to get rid of her. Emily somehow survives her fall and travels through the mine. She even finds some place where Hannah and Beth fell, and we can confirm that Beth is 100% dead. As for Hannah, we find her diary where she admits to cannibalism, which is surprisingly legal in a lot of places in the US. Anyway, Emily makes her way through the catacombs and gets chased by a dude with the flamethrower who we've seen before. He tried to help Hannah and Beth at the start of the game, but he is also the guy Mike was chasing into the sanatorium. And you know what? He's actually a pretty chill dude. He even gives Emily's ungrateful ass some flares. She tries escaping the mines but gets chased by freaking monsters and even gets bit, but does manage to escape.
Meanwhile,
back at the lodge, everyone is not together. But what about Matt and Jill?
Who?
Emily says that she saw monsters and everyone starts freaking the hell out until Flamethrower Dude shows up and straight up exposes for the next 10 minutes.
That's right, I'm about to monologue, son.
So here's the condensed version. Back in them days, the mountains belonged to the natives until white people arrived, discovered gold, and started digging.
These white men are dangerous.
And basically, the mountain got angry, and if you resort to cannibalism, it turns you into a Wendigo, which are the monsters we've been seeing up until this point. Now, what is a Wendigo?
Read a book, people.
And then back in the 50s, a group of miners got stuck on the mountain, and I'm pretty sure you can fill in the blanks. So Flamethrower Bro was like, we gotta get the hell out of here, we gotta survive until dawn. But Chris is like, we've got Josh hogtied in the shed, so they decide to go and rescue him. But the shed is empty because Josh got yoinked by the Wendigo. And as for the Flamethrower guy, and Chris hits the jets. And this is where the Ashley slander comes in, because if you at any point with Chris disrespect her in any way, like call her some names or something, she will literally let him die, close the door on his ass, and then he would just get, chopped up into little pieces by the Wendigos because you were rude to her that one time. But if you think I'm done crapping on Ashley, well, you're wrong, because as soon as Chris makes it back to the shed, guess what? Emily has her little love bite, though she got from Wendigo earlier, and all of a sudden, Ashley is the biggest advocate of violence of all time. Mike straight up just pulls a gun to threaten Emily by trying to shoot her in the face, and Ashley's in the background like, take the shot.
Kill him!
And you know what the worst part of it is? Flamethrower Dude left his lore and equipment back with the teenagers, and in his little notebook, it's written that the love bite is actually harmless. It doesn't turn you into a Wendigo. So...
Understand the palm of my hand, bitch.
Dude, what the hell are you doing?
she was panicking. I had to slap some sense into her.
Oh my god, bro. That's genius.
Anyway, Mike heads back to the sanatorium to try to find Josh, and you know damn well that this game takes place in America because not walking in 10 steps, he managed to find another gun out of nowhere.
This is my boomstick!
But he's ambushed by a bunch of Wendigos and just goes straight John Wick on him.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. They blow things up and then walk away.
Meanwhile, the group is heading down towards like the basement or something to hide from the Wendigos. But Sam decides that she'd rather go help Mike because all of her friends suck. And she's also the only capable person in the entire group. So she goes to help find Mike, but Mike is kind of fighting off Wendigos by himself. So she goes in and blows the crap out of every single Wendigo there. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Josh is having hallucinations and a mental breakdown.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Sam and Mike somehow managed to find Josh the freaking catacombs, and he's still freaking out. Like, it's been half an hour and this man's like out of his mind. But they snap him out of it, and as they're leading him out of there, they get ambushed by one more Wendigo. And it turns out that this one has a tattoo, and you probably guessed it, but this is Hannah. And she just straight up drags Josh away. And I'm gonna be pretty honest, but Josh does not get a happy ending. And this scene makes me laugh because you see Mike and he's just like, oh hell no, and just stands there in the corner watching all this.
Oh, hell no.
Now, while all this is happening, I know you guys have been dying to know what Matt and Jill have been up to. Basically, Matt is fine. He finds Jill in the catacombs somewhere, and then they just play hide and seek for a little bit from the Wendigos, and they're fine. I don't know what you were expecting, but that's literally it. Now then, back at the plot, Mike, Sam, and literally everybody else makes it back to the house somehow, and it turns out that there's a group of Wendigos just like chilling at the house. But then Hannah, or Hannah's Wendigo, I guess, starts like throwing everybody around. They just start boxing out of nowhere. And then while this is happening, the group forms a plan to blow up the entire house by opening up a fuse lodge and then sparking it. And that's basically what happens. Everybody runs away from the house one by one until one big boom and they kill all the Wendigos, and that's pretty much the end of the game.
I said, what the hell is